that was actually incredible. That was actually incredible. That was something I've never seen before. The league is absolutely cooked. I'll get into it in a second. Before we do, as always, big shout out to today's sponsor of the live stream, the videos, the channel, Sleeper. So if you guys are interested at all in daily fantasy sports, go check out Sleeper. Link is below. If you do sign up, you'll get 100% match up to $100 if you use the promo code CLAN. But it's super simple when you're actually on the app. As you can see, this the NBA. I love what they do with certain players. Like they put the clown makeup on Jokic. I don't know. I'm a sucker for stupid stuff like that. That's just silly. But as you can see here, it's like, hey, is he over or under on rebounds? Boom. I think he'll go over 11. Steph Curry, over or under 24 points. I'm going to go more. And you just do that. You click in your entry, and then you're good to go, right? So if you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out and see if you enjoy it. Now, this team, guys, this team looked absolutely incredible. The scariest part about all of this is that they are nowhere near where they're going to be. Like, I need to emphasize this. They're not even close. And obviously, like in a couple seasons or a few seasons down the line, yeah, obviously that'd be great. But I'm talking this season. They're not as good as they're going to be at all, not even close this season. You're missing 2 starters. Some people will argue, well, 1 definite starter, but I would just say flat, you're missing 2 starters, especially with how Harrison Barnes has. I'll be honest, Harrison Barnes looked, I don't want to say really bad, but he didn't look great tonight. But you're missing 2 starters on this team, one of which is your second best defender, which is crazy to think about because you saw what Steph Castle did tonight. And the other one is one of the best point guards in the NBA and the fastest point guard in the NBA. I don't know how you're going to stop this team. And I know that I'm a Spurs fan, and I know it's very easy to just discredit it and just say, hey, you're just being biased or whatever. But I genuinely don't know how you stop a team like this. How do you stop Wemby? If Anthony Davis can't stop Wemby, who stops Wemby? The one way in which players were able to stop him, or not even stop him, but slow him down, was with their strength. AD couldn't move Wemby tonight. Wemby moved AD. We'll look at the stats in a minute. I tell you guys, I don't look at the stats unless it's like literally on my screen. So I knew Wemby stats for tonight. Like it's in my face, but I don't look at anyone's stats until I actually go live. So this is vibes, and then I'll try to see if it's, justified what I was saying. But like Wembanyama, I didn't feel like he took any threes in this game. Like it felt like he was just all muscle, all getting to the rim, all post moves. Like he was destroying AD. And it got to a point where Anthony Davis looked like he just gave up. He just gave up. He just gave up. He didn't know what to do. And Wemby doesn't stop. He's like, you know how we know, like, he looked up to Kobe Bryant, right? Like, they say that he got Kobe Bryant on his wallpaper on his phone. Like, he's crazy about Kobe. And then his previous French coach basically said he reminds him of Kobe Bryant. One thing about Kobe is he doesn't stop. He's going to keep coming at you. And Wemby did not stop. He was relentless. He didn't settle for anything. He didn't stop. The bloodbath continued. They sent a statement in this game. Non-stop. Pound for pound for pound. And then you got Mitch Johnson. We got him mic'd up. I wasn't expecting that. We got him mic'd up. Guys, we had no idea what type of monster we were dealing with. This guy sounded, I was listening to him. I was like, is that Popovich? Am I listening to Popovich right now? Like, he sounded like Pop. He He sounded like Popovich. The amount of intensity that he was bringing, everyone brought intensity. They were nonstop. Wemby sat and they kept coming at you. Nonstop. What do you do? What do you do? And like I said, when we were watching the preseason games and they went 5-0, like so many people were like, it's just preseason. Don't get overexcited. But what we saw was even when the Spurs were playing poorly, even when they were making mistakes, they looked well together. They looked like they had some chemistry. Their defense was ridiculous. And every single one of those preseason games, they looked like they were going to win. You never felt like, oh, we might lose this. Like it was very obvious we were winning convincingly, even when they weren't playing well. So what do you do, man? Can someone explain how you stop Wemby? The only way you could have slowed him down his first 2 years, well, yeah, I'll say that. His first 2 years is with strength. It was with strength, and it was with Wemby settling. I think he was experimenting a lot, but settling for three-point shots. He put up 40. I was correct. He put up 40 points. 40 points on 21 field goals and 1 3-point shot. 1. He had 1 3 and he put up 40 effortlessly. Easy. Looked like nothing. It didn't look like he had anybody guarding him out there. Like I said, if Anthony Davis can't stop him, who does? Like the only player I can think of right now that like might have a chance to slow him down is maybe Giannis. Maybe Giannis. Can someone give me some names on who's going to stop Wemby? Because I don't see it. Wemby going to have to stop himself. It's going to be like Steph Curry situation. Like you just got to pray he misses shot because who can guard him? And they did everything. That was another thing I was watching too. They did everything. They sent everyone at Wemby. But because now that we have some legitimate threats, some very high IQ players that make cuts at the opportune times, who gets open, you can't double team them either. Wemby made man, guys, I'm sorry. This game got me so hyped. Not only did Wemby have 40 points, not only did he only take 1 3, but he had no turnovers. And I'm telling you, they sent everything at him. They gave him every look they could. There was nothing. There was no way. There was when Doctor Strange in that movie, what was it, Infinity War? When Doctor Strange could see like all of those different scenarios. You know what I'm talking about? All these different possibilities. There were no possibility of Dallas Mavericks stopping Wemby tonight. You could see 5 billion possibilities, and not one of them contained Wembanyama. You weren't going to stop him. There's nothing you could have done. It's nothing you could have done. This team is incredible. I didn't even talk about. I just been ranting. I didn't even talk about like the individual players. So I'll start with the bad, and there's not much bad at all. I mean, I'll just be real. There's no bad at all. There's not much. The only bad I can think of is really Harrison Barnes. I know you guys would be like, oh, what about Keldon? You got something to say about Keldon? I mean, Keldon's defense is what it is, but at the end of the day, I thought Keldon looked fine. Like, I thought he fit pretty well, did his thing. They didn't overuse him, and, he found his opportunities and did his thing. But Harrison Barnes, yikes. I think I would keep him in the starting lineup. But, that's just for depth, right? Because we have so many. And by the way, I'll get to these super chats. I'll make sure to get to these super chats. I know I think it's been like 3 right now that I've missed. So I'll get to it. But Harrison Barnes, that's one where I'm a little like, it was mostly on defense. I'm not going to trip about the 3 for 7. I felt like only one of his attempts were kind of weird, but mostly it's been the defense. That was one where I was like, oh my goodness, like he's kind of getting cooked. And and he feels like a weak spot. And he obviously going to feel like a weak spot when you're on the court with freaking Devin Vassell, Castle, Wemby, and Champagnie. Like, there's not too many openings. So obviously the Dallas Mavericks are going to try to go at Harrison Barnes. Like, what else do you do, right? It's too much going on. It didn't make a difference, right? I mean, we still won convincingly. It didn't make a difference, but it was kind of strenuous to watch, to say the least. So, but he'll be fine. Honestly, guys, that's kind of the only gripe I have. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know some people would try to bring up maybe Dylan Harper, but being a rookie, a rough beginning, but he kept his head up, kept his chin out. Or wait, I didn't say it right. Kept his chin up, chest out, and just kept going. Like, that's the difference between like players that's late in the draft and players that's in the lottery. Like, their confidence is incredible. So Dylan Harper didn't look down at all. Like, yeah, he slipped up a few times, but he kept coming, and he still had a few moments where it was like, whoa, that was really impressive. So I'm not really worried about Dylan Harper or anything. He's going to be fine. So, yeah, but other than that, like, I don't really have anything negative to say. So every player, so I haven't looked at anyone's stats that's not Victor Wembanyama. So let's see here. So Devin Vassell, this is actually funny enough, guys. This is exactly what I was talking about. So you guys remember how I was talking about Devin Vassell and how like a lot of people are going to think differently this season, even if he's playing the exact same way as he has the last couple seasons. I said that because when Devin Vassell, all he has to be is like the third option, sometimes fourth option on an offense, and you have as much depth as we have, he's going to shine. This game, the vibes, I'm sure if I just asked you guys right off the bat, without looking at the stats, you probably would have said Devin Vassell had like 20 points tonight, right? You probably would have said that because he looked impressive. Like, he had 20 points. But no, this performance isn't like the greatest in the world. But man, did he not look good. And he looked good because you have this amount of depth. He only had 13 points tonight, but they felt impactful. And the reason why they felt impactful is because so many guys were passing the ball, distributing, doing their part. And Wembanyama, when he's going off the way that he's going off, everybody is going to look better, right? It's going to shine. They're going to shine a little bit brighter because you're going on these runs, and it's like these teams are like, well, what do we do? How do we stop this guy? What do we do? And then finally, maybe they get a stopper. They get some bodies on him, and he pass it up. And now you have to deal with Devin Vassell making a freak shot. Like, he looks much better when he doesn't have to be the second option next to Wemby. This game, Steph Castle was undoubtedly the second option, I think, just overall. Which brings me to Steph Castle. He did very well. Steph Castle did very well. Steph Castle was really good tonight. And this is going to be a consistent thing from him. Like, this is just who he is. Like, he's so fundamentally sound in his abilities, offensively and defensively. He's just fundamentally sound. Defense, he was incredible. He was nonstop. I mean, it was so nice. Because last season, what would happen is Wemby would sit. We didn't have any like real depth, not great depth, especially from the big man position. And what would happen is we would just kind of rot, right? Like, Wemby sits on the bench. We rot, we lose the lead, or another team like even the odds, and we just keep having this back and forth battle of how much can we play Wemby to save this game. But now that we have actual depth, it has to be so infuriating for Wemby to sit down, and then Luke Cornett comes in, he plays good defense, and then you got Steph Castle like stealing the ball from you. I'm surprised he only had 2 steals. I feel like he had 2 steals and like 5 possible steals. Like 5 or 6 deflections. Like, it was incredible. Him and Devin Vassell played the lanes so well defensively, man. So yeah. And don't get me wrong, I know it's like, well, we beat a Dallas Mavericks team and they're just now trying to figure things out. I understand that. This isn't going to be our greatest challenge, right? But just on a fundamental level and how they played as a team, and how everyone really knew their roles, and just how sound they were and relentless they were defensively. And then you got Mitch Johnson. You can just hear his intensity. He's in it. He's locked in, right? And they're just coming at you. This is something that will transfer into any game, right? There's going to be games that are really close, but if they play the way that they played tonight, what do you do, bro? How do you stop them? It's going to be extraordinarily difficult for you to do anything. And they can give you so many different looks as well. You know, like Cooper Flagg saw quite a few looks tonight. Like we had Carter Bryant on him at one point. We got Devin Vassell on. We got Steph Castle on him. Like those are some really good defenders. He's constantly seeing different looks. But yeah, quality looks. Keldon Johnson looked good. Keldon Johnson started off pretty rough. You know, but that's the, you know, like I always say, that's the good with the bad, right? But he was a net positive, so I guess that's good. A lot of these are garbage time, right? I don't have anything to say about Harrison Ingram. David Jones-Garcia, I'm suspecting, my friend brought this up. I agree with them. I'm suspecting they're leaving a roster spot open for him. He's probably right on that. Like he's really good. So he'll be with the main roster more than likely. I agree with that take. Carter Bryant, like I always say, like we haven't had him that long, but like I've been saying, offensively he got a lot to be desired, but that's okay, right? He's just not there yet. But if he keeps playing with a certain amount of intensity defensively, he will get playing time, and rightfully so. So hopefully he keeps that up. But yeah, I'm starting to think though when Sohan comes, that might be a wash a little bit. My question now, man, is wait, no, that's not a question. That's well, I don't know. When Fox, are we done with all the players? Oh, Luke Cornett only went 1 for 3. Funny enough, okay. This is what confused me, but I see it now. Like Luke Cornett, I thought that he had more points because we kept having second chance points and he was involved in them. But what it actually was no, he only had 1 offensive rebound. Huh. I don't know. I guess that just comes with the territory when everyone's hitting on all cylinders. You know, plays just really stand out. Because I swear the stats are not on my side on this. I was like, Luke Cornett is really creating second chance points or second chance opportunities, but I guess that wasn't the case. My bad. I guess it was just the whole team giving us second chance opportunities. We had 11 second chance opportunities. I wasn't aware of that. Interesting. Okay. Versus their 9. I mean, they had 9. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just off on that. All I'll say is he played well. That's all I'll say. Because my point, I was about to make a point on him, but I'll just be obviously wrong because I could have sworn he gave us more second chance points than that. Maybe other players were getting the rebounds and he was just boxing them out, and that's what made me think that. I don't know. He looked good though. He looked good. And when he's out there, you can actually take like a deep breath, or a breath of fresh air, because you're like, hey, Victor Wembanyama, he actually has a backup center. We're not dealing with a Zach Collins situation where it's like we're just holding our breath like, oh my God, here we go, you know? Won't look at Dallas Mavericks stats that much. Anthony Davis got absolutely cooked by Wemby, by the way. Like, it wasn't even close. He absolutely cooked him. One stat that was very interesting, and I'm not seeing it on... Okay, maybe you got to go to, like, team stats. Their points in the paint was, like, 25, bro. Like, it was incredible how few points they were able to make in the paint. It's crazy to me that Wemby only had 3 blocks because it felt like he had 8. It felt like he had 8 blocks, bro. Where is it? points in the paint. 26. They had 26 points in the paint, bro, to our 68. And the Spurs, one thing I really love about what Mitch Johnson is doing, and any really great coach would do this, right, is playing on your strength. They went 37%, bro. That's just such good defense. They settled for 3-point shots. But you played on your strength. The main strength of the Spurs right now, the two main strengths are rim pressure and defense. Those are your strengths. And you can win games like that. You don't have to have like 50 crazy great 3-point shooters. You can win games like this. How many threes they take? They took the same amount of threes as us. Huh. Yeah, but their points in the paint was awful. All right, let me get to these super chats. Is there any game on right now? Or not game, post-game press conference? All right, let's look at these super chats. We got Jackson G. He says, Clan, stop sleeping on Castle. That man is him. Wemby's obviously indescribably dominant, but Castle may genuinely be the future point guard for the Spurs. I'm not going to label... Castle is the type of player where I'm just not going to label him a point guard. Like, he's pretty versatile. I think Dylan Harper, more than likely, as far as like who's going to be the point guard, is probably Dylan. But Steph Castle, yeah, he is a nasty. He is nasty. Yeah, he was really good. He was really good. But yeah, I won't go as far as say he's our future point guard, but he's our future play. Like you don't let somebody like him just go. Like, he is really good. He's good at getting to the rim. He's good in cutting, smart, high basketball IQ. Defense is incredible. Yeah. I don't know why you thought I sleep on Castle. I don't mean to give that vibe off. AR Doc says, thanks for the super chat, my friend. He said, old Spurs would have let that 20-point lead slip. New era. Yeah, they would have. You know, one thing that stood out about this game was the third quarter. You know, I don't want to say I was like worried or anything, but I was looking out for it. Look, the issue with the Spurs last season is not making adjustments, or you know, maybe they're making the right adjustments and the players just aren't mature enough or, you know, good enough or have enough chemistry together to make it work. But the biggest issue with them last season was third quarters. They would just lose the lead, right? They would just play awful, but they got better. The most points that they had tonight was from the third quarter. They just went at them. They didn't stop. They just kept going. They just kept going. They didn't let up. It's just so much you can do against a team like this. You can't guard them, bro. All right, next super chat we got. Oh, crap. Crap. I might have missed it. Hold on, am I missing it? Okay, Caps. Cap says, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Wemby is on a mission. I pray he stays healthy. He sees red. The man is possessed with greatness. I agree with you, bro. Like, he's like so locked in. He's like Kobe. It's so dangerous because guys like that and at his size, usually you can sit back and be like, well, they have this weakness, right? Or maybe like they don't have the right level of passion or whatever. Like, a lot of people would look at Dwight Howard and while he's a freak of nature, athletic wise, you know, people would say, well, he's not working on, you know, his shot well enough, or he doesn't take the game serious enough, or, you know, and all those are valid. They're valid criticisms, I think. But it was always like that with certain players. Like, okay, well, at least they don't have this. Even Shaq, right? Like, Shaq was absolutely dominant, but he didn't have a free throw, right? So you just hack him. Like, but Wemby's one of those where I'm starting to not see the weaknesses. Maybe we'll get to a point where we can start seeing the weaknesses as the season go along. He's nowhere near as good as he's going to be, which is just terrifying. But right now, I'm just like, what are the weaknesses? What are the weaknesses? His handles are incredible. His basketball IQ is top notch. He was making so many different types of shots tonight. I'll tell you this game gave me the vibe and gave me the feeling I got during the exhibition game when his French team went against the G League team. You guys remember that game? Like, everybody was watching it. It was like a back-to-back game. Like, everybody watched it. Everyone wanted to see what was going on with Wemby. And I remember watching that and just being like, this guy's kind of unstoppable. And he's hitting shots in a plethora of different spots on the floor. And he's extraordinarily efficient at what he's doing. We're seeing that Wemby, right? Like, Wemby at that skill level, at that point, he could kill a G League team and he looks like incredible. But bringing that Wemby into the NBA, he had a few struggles here and there. But now his level is at the point where he's starting to really create a gap between him and a lot of players he's going against. He made AD look like a little brother, bro. Like, he's starting to create this gap. Like, and it's going to be an immense gap. And we're going to start getting that same feeling we got watching that exhibition game. And he's going to be doing it to NBA players now because his level is getting to that point where now he can do that same thing he did against them, against true pros, the best of the world. All right, let me go to the next super chat. Casual Sheep Gardener. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, Mavs team full of vets got worked by our youngins. Yep. Absolutely demolished them, bro. Absolutely demolished them. Okay, I see another super chat here, but let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I didn't miss anything. All right. I think the last one right for now is Brian. Brian says, I love how Vassell played tonight. Different role for him. Yeah, everyone's role is defined now. And yeah, Devin Vassell can finally just play more in, his comfortable role. And another thing about Devin as well is he had a legitimate offseason, right? But like I told you, let's say we didn't have the same amount of depth that we have right now, right? Let's say you didn't have Steph Castle going into his his second year or whatever. Let's say we didn't get Luke Cornett, right? Let's just say this: we didn't get Dylan Harper, and you look at Devin Vassell's stats, he would get demolished last season for a game like this, right? People would be like, he's just not good enough. He needs to be traded. He only had 13 points. What are you doing? But when you have depth like this, he amplifies the team. He amplifies the talent. He adds to the depth. He just need guys. Funny enough, he just need a couple guys that's better than him on the court. That's all he need. A guy or two that's better than him. He got Wemby, and I don't want to say Steph Castle is like better than Vassell. I won't go that far. I won't do Vassell like that. But I will say that Steph Castle is a more go-to right now. Like, or at least the Spurs are using him in a more go-to role right now. And Steph Castle really adds to our strength of getting to the basket. And I think that Devin Vassell being able to take on the role of being more of a third guy, a third option, that's what makes him scary. But he's one of those guys that can go off at any given night, But yeah. But yeah, I saw a few people bring up. Wemby getting MVP, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like, performances like this, yeah, you keep this type of performance up, yeah, he'll be an MVP candidate for sure. Like, this was a Wemby. Yeah, this is a Wemby. I just was not sure. I was just shocked how good he was tonight. His offseason was incredible. And if he does this every summer, if he goes to a retreat to become a monk every single summer, the league is just cooked. We're about to witness a Michael Jordan 90s run with this dude, bro. Why is he playing? Who, Jordan? Jordan? I always say his name wrong. McClellan? McClellan. They just needed a point guard depth. That's all it was. He wasn't bad. He didn't do much, but he was fine. McClellan. McClellan. Thank you. No, wait. Someone says McLaughlin. 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 Okay. McLaughlin. McLaughlin. Okay. Thank you. All right, last super chat. At least for this segment. I'm so happy Keldon Johnson and Devin won't be portrayed as trash by the national media anymore. Keldon Johnson, a really good locker room guy, and Bruce Brown, game and bench role. I do like that. I do like that new role. Did the national media portray them as trash? I don't think the national media really talked about Keldon Johnson that much. If anything, they would talk about our young talent and add him in that talk. And then Devin, yeah, the national media got onto him a little bit with some of his shot selections last season. But I don't think those two, y'all think that they get, no. McLaughlin. Okay, McLaughlin. Thank you. McLaughlin. Anyways, phenomenal game. The Spurs are going to cook all of you. The NBA is doomed.